Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. And in the last episode, guys, we were able to mount a successful rescue operation of Carmen and Flint, but nothing could prepare Sleeper for discovering that Flint themselves is also a Sleeper. Now, they seem a little bit more cynical and world-weary than our Sleeper, but very protective of their home here on Oliveira, so I'm curious how the story is going to unfold now that another Sleeper is involved in it. And what's Lane going to think? Is Lane even aware of Flint's existence, or will become aware of Flint's existence? We'll have to see. Now, we are waiting for Carmen to recover. I think it's going to take another turn or two. So let's go ahead and explore the rest of Oliveira. We were here at the scrap silos for a component hunt. We're good there. The Oliveira Canteen. Oliveira has an open canteen where Cadence prepares the colony's produce. You tend to get served based on how well liked you are. Uh-oh. And we don't have Engage, so that's unfortunate. That's okay, we can make our own food. Farm stacks. Supply gathering. The Oliveira colonists allow you to gather supplies, but you have to harvest, pack, and process them yourself, which can be exhausting. And then the hydro refinery. Fuel extraction. You're permitted to extract fuel for your own use, but you have to oversee the complex automated process yourself. And then we have the process there. I don't think there's anything else really for us to do. Let's go ahead and scavenge fuel. We'll see if we can get some supplies from the mushroom harvest. Yeah, we got some energy. And some energy. Well, boo. And we're going to make it even worse because we got to feed Jonesy. So maybe it's best to source supplies first. Yeah, I probably should have tried to use the facilities. It's okay. The sound of raised voices echoes through the tunnel. Following them, you find yourself at the entrance to the clinic, where Flint and Xander are locked in a bitter argument. "I won't take you out there, Flint," Xander is pleading with the Sleeper. "Look what happened to Carmen. They'll kill you." "What happened to Carmen is exactly why I have to go. They will find me here. And when that happens..." "The whole colony can hear you two." Seraphin comes out of the clinic with Cadence. "You trying to wake up Carmen?" You see Seraphin clock you, standing in the passageway. Your eyes meet and Seraphin looks away. Neither of you have seen each other since you brought Carmen back to Oliveira. "I'm trying to make sure what happened to Carmen doesn't happen to anyone else." Flint folds their arms. "I'm the reason he is like he is, and that means it's on me to fix it." "What are you talking about?" You catch Flint off guard. They hadn't seen you waiting in the passageway. "Essen-Arp came for me. That's what happened out in the debris field." They look down. "You know what that means." Essen-Arp, the company that created you, the company you escaped. The idea of them bearing down on this place sets your nerves on edge. You've long since slipped their grasp. Lane disabled your tracker in exchange for unwavering service, a gift that became a trap. But Flint is still on the run, and if Essen-Arp attack Carmen's ship, they can't be far away. You look at Flint and see the fear in their eyes. "Your tracker is still active." Oliveira is shrouded. Flint looks toward the center of the colony. Carmen managed to get hold of a signal shroud and set it up here. He wanted to keep everyone safe. There's no way Essen-Arp can track me here. "Am I missing something?" Seraphin interrupts. "If they can't find you here, what's the problem?" "It's not just about the tracker. That hunter found me in the debris field. They know I escaped. It's only a matter of time before their search brings them here." Silence falls on the group as the inevitability of the problem sets in. Xander looks distraught. You can't, Flint, Xander says in a quiet voice. They'll kill you. Seraphin glances at you and Flint in turn, and you see his mind working on a solution. He looks away, frowning. I'm sorry, Xander. That's how it is. Flint looks dejected. Unless we get them first. Seraphin smiles an impish smile. Seraphin, what are you thinking? Caden speaks up for the first time. Well, we know there's a hunter out there, scouring the shoals, and we know they're looking for you, Flint. Seraphin shrugs. That means we have the upper hand. We don't need to bring them here. We can bring them anywhere we want. Seraphin looks around at the group. So we get set, we prepare a little surprise, and then we wait. Flint is already shaking their head. The hunter could arrive here at any moment. We don't have time for this. If I had a ship, I would have left already. Then we move you now. We take you somewhere we can prepare. We work hard and fast to get an ambush set. When the hunter comes, Seraphin grins, we spring the trap. What kind of trap? That we still have to figure out, Seraphin admits. But you have to admit, it beats going out to die without a plan. He shoots Flint a look. And hey, if we fail, the outcome will be the same anyway. Flint doesn't respond immediately. You can see them thinking it through, considering their options. I'm coming. Xander has a determined look on his face. We're doing this, and I'm coming. Look, kid, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is the real thing. A bounty hunter is not going to... Stop patronizing me. Xander cuts him off. I know the shoals. You need me out there. The conversation suddenly devolves into many small arguments. The location, who should go, how to approach the ambush. The noise grows. The old Solheim manufactory. Cadence's voice rises clear and precise through the noise. That's where you do it. It's on a rock far enough from here, and it's a real labyrinth. You can lead the hunter there and get them lost inside. Cadence's eyes are bright and determined. The place is full of old machines, ordnance. We've been afraid to scavenge any of it. It's so unstable. You notice Seraphin watching Cadence speak, clearly impressed by this sudden shift toward decisive action. We could bring the whole place down on their head. Xander picks up Cadence's thread. I know the manufactory. It's a good idea. You look between those gathered. Seraphin, stubborn and protective. Cadence's sharp eyes. Xander's relentless desire to get involved. And Flint, a sleeper like you. A sleeper in need of an escape. Carmen was building something here. A shrouded haven. A place that needs protecting. He may be unconscious behind those doors, floating amongst the wires and tubes of the clinic, but something of him is here, in this group, making a plan of resistance. Flint's eyes meet yours, and you know what has to be done. The rig will leave Olivera this cycle. You have a hunter to trap. New contract on the map, how about that? Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this then. Let's go ahead and utilize our resources. Full up there. Let's grab... It's the hydro refinery. And get some fuel. How much fuel do we get, though? Oh, okay, cool. Perfect. Just what we needed. And just because I can say we did. And also, yeah, you don't get any cryo here whatsoever. It's all just resources and stuff that's needed. We shall go ahead and use a supply for Jonesy. It's the biggest waste not waste we have. And we'll grab some supplies here. Perfect. Alright, let's check the map. Old manufactory. Abandoned debris field facility. Only -2 fuel. And who... Oh, we get to actually choose the full crew here. Alright, well, definitely going with Junie. And then... We're good on interface. Yeah, we gotta go with Eugen. That's our classic group right there. A little bit of everything. Sorry, Cadet. Just is what it is. We haven't actually ran with Cadet yet. Let's go ahead and travel. Confirm. Corroded plates, twisted struts, scattered scrap. The manufactory makes for a familiar sight. Just one more ragged artifact from the corporation that once owned this system. Despite that, something about it sets you on edge. Perhaps because it'll also form the crucible for your attempt to take on an Essen-Arp hunter. The kind whose entire job is to bring in escaped sleepers like you. Dead or alive. The rig is tucked behind a rock, running on low power with its transponder off. You hope that's enough not to draw attention. So, talk us through it. Seraphin turns back to Flint, Cadence, and Xander, all of whom are crammed into the cockpit along with your crew.
We have to make this place look like a colony. That's what the hunter will expect.
Cadence suggests first, her voice quavering a little with anxiety.
We can seal up some of the holes, maybe install some lighting, fake it up.
Okay. Seraphin nods reassuringly. That's good. What then?
Will we force them to go deep?
Xander cuts in, and everyone looks at him. He pauses, a little intimidated by the attention, but Flint nods at him to continue.
I've been out here before, on a salvage run. There's an assembly line that runs through the whole place, filled with old manufactory machines. We seal doors, activate machines, make it a maze of malfunctioning construction arms and dead ends.
All right then, control their route. I like it. Seraphin smiles at Xander. And if we get lucky, maybe one of those old machines will do the job for us.
I doubt it. Flint joins in. We'll need the ordnance from the silos. Mining charges, fuel, whatever's left when this place was churning out Solheim goods.
They furrow their brow.
We blow the place. To make sure.
A silence passes through the cockpit.
The danger of what you're about to attempt dawning on everyone present.
Okay. Seraphin has a dark look. That's the plan. We can detonate the ordnance with a command from the rig. A simple wideband comm signal.
We'll get them.
Seraphin pats Flint on the shoulder. Once they go in, that hunter isn't coming back out. He turns to you. Anything we missed?
What if they don't take the bait? Then I engage.
Flint rubs their hands together nervously.
I lead them in directly. Right?
Right. Seraphin confirms grimly. How long do you think we have? There's a lot of factory down there.
The hunter got to me in Carmen fast.
Flint looks out of the cockpit.
No more than 3 cycles. When the hunter came for us...
Flint grimaces, remembering the attack on Carmen's ship.
They came out of nowhere, hit us hard and fast. If it wasn't for Carmen, we need to be ready for anything.
Flint looks at you.
There won't be a warning.
Seraphin sighs.
Oh, nice pep talk.
Flint, you better find somewhere deep in that place, down in the bedrock. But make sure it has a back door, okay? He nods at the sleeper. The rest of us will get to work. All right, you heard Flint. We do this and we do it right. We make our stand on this rock. Let's not waste a moment more. Ooh, and we got some... Oh my goodness. I love it. Storage silos, expired ordnance, Factory docking platform. Hunter's arrival and a 3-part plan. The hunter is surely homing in on Flint's signal. In a few cycles, they'll be here, and you must be ready to face them. To make sure you can face the hunter, all 3 parts of the plan must be ready by the time they arrive. Factory exterior. Seal exterior. The shell of the manufactory is full of holes. To make it look like a colony, it needs sealing up and fast. Disguise exterior. The old Solheim manufactory is a ruin. To convince the hunter, you'll need to add lights, paint, signs, and all the signatures of a working colony. And to make sure the hunter will enter the facility, you need to make it look like the site of an operational colony. Good grief. Alright, so I'm actually glad that we had such high dice right off the bat. Assembly line. Hack machines. One way to drive the hunter deeper into the factory will be to activate the old factory machines, closing off routes and presenting a deadly threat. The massive bulkhead doors in the main factory require a direct approach if you want to funnel the hunter into the trap. And then the storage silos. Prime explosives. There are a few things more dangerous than rigging up expired mining charges and fuel tanks. Carefully does it. Mining explosives, emergency breach charges. There's a lot of old ordnance down here if it can be gathered and identified. Well, the good news is we've got 6 here across the board. Let's go into the assembly line first, because we've got this interface, and that's where Junie kind of thrives. How much does that actually give us in progress? 2. Wow. Okay. Well, that is definitely a choice, a thing that's happening. We're gonna go here, and we're just gonna push through. I actually don't even care if they pass out. Like, we need to do this. We are under the gun. Two to entrapment. Levering the doors into place seems to get them moving. The hunter will only be able to proceed inwards. And go, go, go. How about that? We may be able... Well, no, this is the only thing that Junie can really do, right? Intuition and endurance. Eugen's a little bit more viable here. So let's go ahead and I will work on disguising the exterior. The old Solheim manufactory is... Oh, hold on, I gotta do this again. The trick is to be selective, picking likely spots to install lights, giving the sense of a patchwork colony. And we may go ahead and push with that last one. Okay, we're halfway with one, and all but done with the other. That's good, as long as our luck holds out. Push. Cool. Alright, well, we're not going to risk Junie doing another one. Or are we? This is pretty much all she can do. You know what? Let's do it. Ooh. One of the machines bursts into life and slashes at the air. It has to be destroyed. Okay, Junie, well, we'll just ignore that happened. Not gonna hold that against you. Good, oh, those ones, though. Well, let's do... Oh, we have the danger. The danger would probably give us more, huh? Let's go ahead and see if we can finish this off and get rid of these singular... Well... I'm a bit torn here on what we do. Let's go ahead and have Eugen give this a shot. There we go. Okay, it would have given us 2 anyway, and that's a positive outcome. The exterior of the manufactory is as good as it's going to get. You hope it works.
You know, Cadence's voice comes over the comms, shimmering with interference. From here, it doesn't look half bad.
You look across the shell of the manufactory, now studded with lights and dotted with markings, the fresh welds and plates giving the whole place a fragile patchwork feeling.
If I was a piece of shit hunter, this is what I think a normal person's settlement would look like, right? We better hope so.
Cadence goes quiet for a moment, her attempt at humor only serving to remind you both of the desperate circumstances.
Have you spoken to Flint?
Cadence pauses.
I mean, really spoken? Not really. Oh.
Cadence searches for a response.
Flinton's very loyal. I know they're quiet and, well, intense, but I just hope you two can find some common ground. I don't think Flint likes me. Nobody thinks Flint likes him at first.
You hear Cadence's comforting smile in her voice.
We know better now. Oliveira's a refuge.
Cadence takes a deep breath.
For all of us. I was in trouble when I met Carmen. We all were, in one way or another. Seraphine's told me a lot about you.
Cadence hesitates.
And I can see what you're trying to do for Flint. And for Oliveira.
Let's let her finish.
I appreciate it. And I know Xander does. And Carmen will do as well. And Flint?
Cadence pauses.
Well, you'll see.
The comms click off, returning you to the silence of the manufactory. You look out across the false colony at the glittering lights. They're a poor imitation of Oliveira's real lights, those that indicate the colony's fragile, delicate state. You shake it off and move on. This isn't over yet. Well, that's one down. Progress is progress. We're halfway done with this one. So... And this is really kind of Junie's time to shine. Let's go. Oh crap. 2 entrapment, but plus 1 stress, 1 more, and Junie is down for the count. Well, we can at least finish this one off with the dice that we have. Careful reprogramming means the machines will go haywire on their next activation. And the hunter's passage deep into the factory is assured. This might work. You float for a moment, observing the chaos of the old assembly line. The scale of the structure, the number of machines, the arms and fabricators, the welders and bolters, suggest industry on a scale you've never witnessed. The Helion system, a system that now subsists on the leftovers of its failed corporate owners, was once filled with manufactories like this, churning out components and technologies, machines and resources for extracting the valuable materials and minerals that Solheim existed to amass. If someone was able to rebuild one of these places, put it back into operation, imagine what could be fed into the belt. What changes could come for its people? Yet, no one will undertake such a task because this place is haunted by the specter of Solheim, an entity that every being in this system can trace their origins back to. An entity that turned the entire system into a manufactory, a machine for accumulation, and that did not distinguish between human and machines as it did. You look at the broken machines, worn down and rusted, crippled and bent. Some of them have put back into use this past cycle as part of your plan, and those jerk or turn, randomly, blindly groping for components that will never be fed to them. None of them are sentient machines, like you, and so they cannot feel or think, and yet you cannot decide if for them to persist is a kind of cruelty that radiates from the system that created them, or the indication of a new life, one that grants them new function,
new meaning, and the possibility for something more. Creepy, right? Xander floats beside you, his voice hissing through the close-range comms. Maybe the hunter will get spooked by those twitching arms. He imitates the scattered movements of the factory machines. It's more sad than creepy. Xander shrugs. You say so. So, Xander gives you a look. How come this hunter isn't chasing you? My tracker is deactivated. Huh? Xander shoots you a look. Lucky you. Who did that? My captor. Xander goes quiet. I see. I can't deactivate Flint's. Sure. Xander looks down. But you know, maybe once we're done here... He meets your eye. They need your help. Xander looks out at the assembly line and sighs. I like Flint. I'm happy to do this for them. He turns back to you. And I want to like you too. So don't mess this up, alright? Xander gives you a hard look. Don't let Flint down. Xander kicks off and glides toward the exit without waiting for a response. You watch him go for a moment before turning away. There's still so much to do. Yes, indeed. Now all I gotta do is deal with the storage silos. And with the Endure... Let's go ahead and start this with the prime explosives. Oof. Priming the explosives under time pressure is not ideal, but there's no choice. And if we push, that's going to be +2, so that'll only give us 3. I'm going to err on the side of caution, which I hope is going to be okay. All 3 parts of the plan. How long do we have? Okay, we got 2 days here. We can do this. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just end the cycle. Hope for good dice. Okay, good dice. Not from Eugen, though. Hell's bells. But I think with our intuition and endurance both being +1, we should be okay. And if we have to brute force, we have to brute force. Execution. Go, go, go. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and force the issue here. I know that gave us some stress, which is unfortunate, but I did that so we could lose 3 stress and get this one completed. Factory dock. Oh man. We have to try and get this done. Like immediately. Eugen? Yeah, I may have to even sacrifice Junie out of this. Oh no. I should have went for those, I should have went for that old, for the other dice. Alright, let's go, Eugen. Come on, buddy. No. Come on, Eugen. Gotcha. Set a 3-stage trap for the hunter. Good job, Eugen. What a champion. Interior, the factory is rigged to blow. At least in theory. Go easy with that. Flint's voice rumbles over local comms as you secure the final piece of ordnance. You turn to see them floating, backlit, in the entrance to the bay, one of many that you've rigged with ordnance deep in the manufactory. Down here, dust and flecks of rust float through the beams of your lights, and the walls are bent and buckled. You spent the past cycles here, picking out a spot to draw the hunter down to, one they should be able to slip out of when the hunter finds their way in. It's a long time to be down in these dark tunnels, waiting. Looks like we're just about done. Their voices flat, their tone pragmatic. You okay? Flint nods, eager to be done with this. They look over their shoulder, however it plays out. Flint glides into the bay, slowly. There's something I need to tell you, something I think you'll understand. What we're doing out here is not about saving me. It's about Oliveira. You struggle to see Flint's face with the light behind them. I should be on a ship out of there, leading this hunter away, but they won't let me do that. They shake their head in frustration. And even if they would, they can't spare the ship. Not after Carmen's got shot up. That was my mistake. I never should have let him persuade me to come with him on that supply run. Flynn looks down. But what's done is done. What matters now, what I need from you, is a promise. Flint's bright irises flash. That you'll bring this place down with me in it, if it means stopping the hunter. I promise. Flint nods. I knew you'd understand. You know as well as I that those who get close to us are at risk. That we, as sleepers, have to recognize what we opened the door to. Carmen is my fault. I won't be Oliveira's downfall too. And with that, they turn and leave you in the dark. Well, we're as prepared as we can be, guys. Hopefully, getting all of this done means that we don't have to worry about potentially destroying Flint while taking out this hunter. But I guess we'll see what happens in the next episode. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.